Story. A secret has been locked under your very name, sealed away for years. Archangel Michael whispers, "This truth was never meant to reach you in such a way, yet the moment has arrived. What was hidden in silence is now being uncovered. Your name carries a weight you were never told about, a burden concealed by those closest to you, your mother and your sister. They believed they were protecting themselves, not you. Fear, not love, made them choose silence. But now the seal is cracking, and what they buried is beginning to rise. The whispers you overheard late at night, the nervous glances exchanged when you entered the room, the tension that never made sense. These were fragments of a story long denied. It wasn't just your imagination. The truth was never buried deep enough, and heaven has decided it can no longer remain hidden. Archangel Michael says, they thought silence was safety, but heaven never forgets, and what is stolen, whether identity, honor, or inheritance, will always return to its rightful owner. Behind closed doors, your mother and sister met someone. That meeting was more than casual. It was the sealing of information tied directly to you. Papers were signed, promises made, and all of it was designed to keep you in the dark until this very moment. Your sister's unease has become obvious. She avoids your gaze, falls silent when certain names are spoken, and tenses whenever you appear unexpectedly. That is not coincidence, it's panic. Your mother has tried to shield her, using her authority and age to dismiss suspicion, but divine eyes see through every human disguise. Recently, one of them visited a place of worship, not for peace, but in desperation, pleading for more time, hoping the unveiling could be delayed. But spiritual delays hold no power when Archangel Michael has already commanded the truth to surface. There is something bound to your name, perhaps a property, a legacy, or even someone else's debt, hidden in documents you were never meant to see. They thought you would never discover it. But the energy attached to your name has started to awaken, and the lies can no longer hold. A memory from a family trip years ago will soon return. You believe it was ordinary, but it was not. It was a cover for a meeting, a ceremony, a decision made about your life without your voice. Your presence was used as a distraction while your name was being written on something in secret. That's why you were told to remain quiet. That's why you felt, even as a child, that you had stepped into a story already in progress. One of your mother's old friends knew the truth. She warned them not to proceed, not to trap this secret under your name. But greed and fear drowned out wisdom. That woman's absence from your life is no accident. Her silence is heavy, and she may soon become the one to finally tell you everything. They underestimated the strength of divine timing. They never expected your spirit to awaken with such force, sensing what was hidden. But Archangel Michael has already opened the gates of revelation. Something tied to money, an account, or a property once belonged to you, but was redirected elsewhere. The paperwork was disguised, yet the energy of ownership still points to you. That is why they grow uneasy when finances are mentioned. Your soul remembers what your mind was made to forget, and now that memory is stirring. The document sealed in your name carries not only earthly value, but also ancestral weight. You were chosen by forces greater than signatures and stamps. Archangel Michael says, they believed time would blur the lines, but your spirit has matured faster than they could hide the truth. Now those lines shine clearly. Even your mother knows the silence cannot hold much longer. Prepare yourself. When the truth emerges, not everyone will rejoice. But you must remember, this unveiling is your divine right. Some truths arrive like storms, forcing people to face sides of themselves they thought could stay hidden forever. There's a box. Yes, it exists, tucked away in an attic heavy with divine energy. Inside it lies a piece of fabric, old but sacred, wrapped carefully around something important. That item was once yours, yet it was hidden like a relic in the shadows. Your sister once almost confessed, but your mother silenced her with nothing more than a single glance. A glance that spoke louder than words, sealing her lips and her courage. You felt those silent moments before, the kind where eyes reveal more than mouths ever could. The illusion is breaking. Their stories no longer align, their timelines fall apart, and the divine is rearranging everything. Archangel Michael declares, "You are not standing alone in this. Heaven has already stationed its warriors around the truth. No attempt can hide what has been chosen for revelation. Your mother will weep when this all unravels. She never expected to see the day while still alive. But heaven's timing is not governed by human permission. Long ago, she and your sister went to a notary behind your back. They carried papers that should have been in your hands, yet they signed as though they had the right. Legal on paper, but unjust in spirit. And divine justice does not only move through courts, it flows through revelation and alignment. Soon, you may hear from a distant cousin. They won't know the whole story, but a single sentence, a small memory they share, will open a new path toward the truth. That's when the pieces of the puzzle will start falling into place. This secret isn't only about the past, it's tied to your future. It connects to someone who was cut out of your life, a name that will suddenly return and shake you deeply. Your sister is breaking under the weight of shame. You've noticed her distraction, her unease, the nervousness she cannot mask. That's because someone has reminded her of what she's part of, and the guilt is beginning to crack her silence. Your name carries power. It is more than letters. It is lineage, contracts, pain, and now divine fire. They underestimated your spirit, thinking distraction would blind you. But no distraction is stronger than awakening. Soon, you will feel light in your room, even with curtains drawn. That is Archangel Michael standing near, preparing you. This truth will not destroy you. It will strengthen you, restore what belongs to you, and shatter lies as fragile as glass. A man is connected to all of this. He is not blood, but he knows the worth of your bloodline. It was his idea to bind your name to what should never have been yours. He feared your strength, which is why he kept his distance. Yet when this secret surfaces, he will return, pretending to help, but really watching the fallout. Archangel Michael speaks again. Prepare for a divine return. What was sealed will be unsealed. What was signed in darkness will be rewritten in light. There is another box, wooden and worn with age. It wasn't just for photographs or albums. Inside is a folder with one paper that changes everything about who you believe you are. That paper has your name, but it was never placed in your hands. Your mother was told to keep it hidden until the right time, but that time has passed. Heaven no longer tolerates deceit, disguised as protection. She justified her silence as love, but real love does not withhold truth, especially when it concerns the foundation of your existence. She feared who you might become once you knew, but it has always been your right to know. Your sister has been dreaming. She hasn't told anyone, but in those dreams you stand in light, holding a key, unlocking something she has always been instructed to keep shut. She wakes weeping, though she hides the reason. Those are not ordinary dreams. There is another figure, someone older in the family, once close to your mother. This person warned her never to allow it to go this far. When their warning was ignored, they walked away from the family and have not been spoken of for years. But they are alive. They remember, and they are waiting for a sign from you. Through your words, your prayers, your actions. When you release that energy, they will come forward and everything will begin to unravel. This secret isn't bound only to a paper or a name. It is tied to your destiny. Your path was slowed because of what was sealed, but the moment of divine correction draws near. You will be restored to the journey meant for you. A specific date in your past will now glow with new meaning. A birthday, a trip, a sudden family argument. On that day, the cover-up began. That is your first clue. Your mother knows this cannot be hidden anymore. She has recently moved an envelope in her dresser twice, torn between destroying it or hiding it deeper. But she cannot escape what has already been marked by heaven for exposure. Your sister trembles because someone has already confronted her in secret. That confrontation already happened. Days ago, your sister was approached quietly, and it left her shaken to the core. The messenger told her, "It's coming out. You can't stop it. You are surrounded by divine fire. But this fire isn't here to destroy your life. It's here to burn away the veil that kept you blind. Once that veil falls, clarity will flood your world. Your name will be spoken differently, written where it was once erased, and with it will come new keys, both literal and spiritual. There is a diary. Your mother kept it during the season when the secret was being woven. It rests inside a zippered cloth bag, buried beneath old garments. Your name appears in its pages more than 10 times. She couldn't carry the weight of silence, so she poured her guilt into those words. She never believed you would ever find it, but heaven has already placed you on its path. Someone connected to a bank, perhaps a family contact, knows a part of the legal truth. They've stayed silent out of fear, but they are now experiencing unusual signs, spiritual events nudging them to speak. Stay alert, because they may soon reach out. The sealed information may involve land, property, or inheritance, something linked directly to your authority, but taken from you through technical tricks. It was not stolen, only deferred, and it is about to return. Your sister carries not only silence, but shame. She signed something beside your mother, never realizing its full weight. Now, as the consequences rise, guilt consumes her. Archangel Michael whispers, "Mercy is always available, but truth must rise first." Forgiveness follows revelation. There's also an older man watching from a distance. Once, he vowed to keep quiet, but now doubt stirs within him. He may suddenly appear, pretending it's just a casual visit, but don't be fooled. He holds the missing link. He knows what your mother and sister did. He knows how it began and why. His silence is cracking. A memory will return, something you once heard as a child. At the time, it sounded like a joke, but it wasn't. It was a slip of truth, spoken by someone who thought you'd forget. Now it will strike with full meaning. Even now, whispers move in the unseen realms. Angels have drawn closer to you, not only for revelation, but to prepare you for inheritance, spiritual, emotional, even financial. You've been more tired lately, but that is not weakness. It's your body adjusting to the weight of truth, preparing to become light. When the seal finally breaks, even your health will shift. Watch for your name to appear in an unexpected place, a file, an email, a letter, or even handed to you by surprise. That will be the signal. When it arrives, begin asking boldly for access to all sealed records. Because there is more. Your father, present or absent, knew parts of this. And it may even involve another sibling or cousin who was displaced by the very cover-up you are now uncovering. The story you've been told about your family's roles will collapse. In its place, a stronger truth will rise. Your sister is near breaking point. She will try to confess, not publicly, but softly, apologetically. She will speak, but she may hold back a detail. Listen carefully and press with love but firmness. Once the first door opens, every other will follow. The chain reaction cannot be stopped now. Archangel Michael declares, what was sealed under your name was not just a secret. It was a destiny hijacked. But nothing, not even blood, can erase what heaven has written into your spirit. Prepare for restoration. That hidden file may include a deed, a court paper, or even a record of a name change, something designed to sever you from your true inheritance. But what they planned in shadows cannot withstand the fire of truth. Even the friend your mother thought had long forgotten has resurfaced, warning her again. The truth is waking. She acts calm, but inside she knows the end of the lie has begun. And your sister? She was there, young but not too young. She saw it, and now she carries the deepest regret. Your intuition has been louder lately for a reason. It isn't wrong. Someone you dearly love was placed in your life as a distraction, meant to keep your focus away from the truth of your real identity. But distractions can't hold forever. What was hidden is already stirring, breaking loose, and making its way back to you. The disguise is fading. A call will come soon. It won't be from a close relative, but from someone who once worked with your family. On the surface, it will seem casual, but hidden in their words will be a key, something small that unlocks a much bigger memory in your mind. Follow that memory, because it will point to a location. This place is familiar, You've been there before, maybe countless times, without realizing what it held. An old house, a storage unit, a locker, a forgotten drawer in an office. And Archangel Michael says, the moment your feet touch that place again, the veil will lift. Your body will react. Heat in your chest, tightness in your skin. Your breath will shift. You may even find a letter, one written for you long ago, but never delivered. And when you read it, you won't just see words, you'll feel tears. The ink still carries the energy of the one who wrote it. The divine has kept perfect records of everything that was hidden from you. They may have deleted files, erased names, rewritten lists, but heaven forgets nothing. You weren't denied, only delayed. And now the curtain of false peace is being torn down. Someone in your mother's circle once worked inside the government. That person altered records years ago, helping to bury what was yours. But now they fear, because retirement is near, and the new person in that role may discover it. Their fear is creating ripples. And fear always leads to mistakes. Through their mistakes, the divine door will swing open. They may try to distract you. An argument, a resurfaced wound, fake concern. Don't be moved. Stay silent. Stay centered. Just watch. Your soul is expanding now. Thoughts come that don't feel like yours because they are whispers from your higher self. Your true identity is rising from the fog they try to hold you in. Archangel Michael declares, they try to keep your destiny on pause, but heaven runs on a divine clock. And that timer just rang. There's a form, a document. Your name is written there, but slightly altered, just enough to disguise it. Yet the energy attached to it is yours alone, and heaven knows the difference. Your sister once called you the chosen one as a joke, but even then, her eyes couldn't meet yours. Because deep inside, she knew it wasn't a joke at all. It was the truth, gasping for air. Someone not related by blood will soon say something to you, just one sentence. They won't even understand what it means, but you will. That is how the divine works, small keys that open massive doors. Even your body is beginning to respond. Strange health shifts, sudden tiredness, dreams, tears that rise without reason. These are not accidents. They're signs of energy unblocking. They once tried to erase a name from your life, someone who once loved and protected you. But heaven is bringing that name back. And when it surfaces, a whole hidden chapter will unfold. Yes, an inheritance is involved. Spiritual, emotional, financial. It was meant for you. It wasn't given, but heaven is restoring it now. Archangel Michael says, they will try to sit you down. They will try to explain before someone else does. They will paint themselves as victims, as heroes. They may cry. They may plead. But listen not to their words. Listen to the silence between them. That's where the truth sits. This will test you. Your heart will want to erupt, but your calmness will be your weapon. Peace will be your sword. Watch closely. The angels are signaling already. A scent, a sound, a repeated vision. It's heaven's code. Even old photos will begin to look different. A detail you once overlooked will suddenly scream for attention. That detail is a key. Your mother's fear is growing. She has seen visions, but she hides them. She knows the image she tried to protect will collapse once this truth comes out. But the truth doesn't destroy, it rebuilds. Your healing will be her redemption. And your sister, one night, she will cry alone. She will say your name to the sky, and the wind will shift. In that moment, heaven will ask her, are you ready to release what you've hidden? Behind the scenes, a letter is being prepared by a lawyer, a confidant, maybe even a spiritual guide. It won't hold the full story, but it will hold enough to spark your next step. There will be resistance, but there will also be help. Archangel Michael says, heaven has waited long enough. The time for revelation is now.